Welcome to another Planet 6 parts video. Today's video is Gapping the Rocker, part 2, version 2. Does that make any sense? So, I literally just done a video there on, I don't know if you've watched it, I'm going to put it up, on trying to see the difference between the feeler gauges and the actual dial indicator. And I've done it on a machine, full machine, so it's a flat surface as I can, and to be honest, it was within 1 tel difference. Now, could it be pinpoint? It could be. There might have been a speck of dust that every time I do it, that's that tiniest bit, let's face it. But 1 tel, I can live with that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do the same again. We're going to do this time number 1 and 3, alright? So what we're going to do is, we're going to gap number 3 using the dial, and we're going to gap number 1 using the feeler gauge. And we're going to compare them back and forth to see what way it works out. Now again, I want to stress that this is not a video saying, oh, here's a better way of doing it. It's just a different way of doing it. Maybe it's an easier way of doing it, because like I said, I hate feeler gauges. I hate using them because I always find that I'm not fully sure what I have. Because, well, basically in a nutshell, it's, you can put it in, but like you say, is it this, is it that, is it this, is it that? I'd rather have a clearer picture than where we are. Okay, so let's get started on this. So I'm going to open this up. Now what I've done was, I've already made sure number 10 and 12 are fully open, and I'm going to crack these open to do them. I literally had started the video, but the little one needed to use the bathroom, so I had to stop. So, let's open these up. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to open a good gap, make sure the screw is loose. Alright, so put them in my pocket. Now we're going to look at the gap, alright? So I put it down and I'm going to see where it falls. So again, without putting too much pressure on it, if I put it down, I don't know if you can see where we are, okay? Now, as much as I say see where we are and I can try get it to a 0, it's when I start tightening it. It's when it's tightened, it's where I'm going to go from. So even if you zero it out, if you nudge it any way, shape or form, it might go to the exact same spot. So this is not, I'm going to say, this is not the most important part of it, because I'm just trying to figure this way out. The best way to do this is that it's more important when you tighten it to see what gap you have then to where you have beforehand. I hope that makes any sense to you. But for me, right, so let's say we try zero it. Alright, so you're happy with this, it comes up. So theoretically, lift it, drop it, and again, I'm going to zoom out to show you. I'm not putting much strain on this, alright? So, all I'm going to do is, I'm going to lift it, and I'm basically going to take my screwdriver and bring it back to 10 tel. Now again, based on that it's 1 tel off, if I do 10, it should be 9 in theory. Okay. Like I said, this is the hard part, just trying to hold still. So, I'm going to zoom out and actually show you. Alright. Alright, so now as you can see, obviously by tightening it, it's moved the tiniest bit. Alright, and that's what I was trying to say, is that it's from when you tighten it, it's where it goes from. Because look, now I'm back to here, which is just over 2. Alright, so we're just over 2, so that's our starting point. So if I go up just over 2, in an ideal world, it'd be just over 12, correct? Where are we at? 11, just under. Yeah? So, would say that's pretty much 9. So let's see if we can grab a tiny bit more out of this. So put my finger in front of the thing. I'm trying to zoom out so you can see me actually physically doing it. This is the part, this is the frustrating part, is that I'm going to try holding the nut still and move the screw, which is anyway, yep, there's a bit of wobble, and go back. Let's try it again. So let's see where we're at. So what I'd say is that every time you tighten it, go from what the gauge shows there. So in this case, we're still just over 2. That's fine. And now we're just under 12. So we got a tiny bit over. So it's almost 10. If I put the slightest bit more pressure on it, it's 10. But I don't want to put pressure on it because that's pulling it open. So I need the slightest bit more. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take the feeler gauge and I'm going to go around the other side and see. Okay, let's go one more time. So 2, 13. That's 11. So let's see where we are now, actually. And 13. So theoretically, that's saying 11. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see where we are with the feeler gauges compared to that. And see. Now again, this could be a case of, oh, don't just use the dial indicator, but you could use both in conjunction with each other. Is it a lot of work? Yeah. I know what you're saying, but if you know the gauge or the dial indicator is good, then you might need the feeler gauges. Right, so let's see what gap we have. Where's our gauges? So let's start off with a little higher one. So we're going to start off with 13 and work our way down, okay? So let's keep these to the side. Make sure there's no dust on them. 13. No. Alright. Let's do a 12. Nope. 11. So according to the gauge, theoretically this is what it should be. However, remember we had that 1 tail off. So if it's correct, this one should not. Well, may. That's close. A bit of pressure. Takes a bit of pressure to go in. So we're going to go with a 10. So the 10 should come in pretty smooth now. Yeah. So is it between 10 and 11? I'm going to say that. Because the 11 goes in. But it originally bumps. I have to give it a tiny bit of push. So I'm going to say it's pretty much between 10 and 11. I'll put it more near the 10 than 11 because the 11 is a bit of a little tiny bit of pressure to get it in there. So that's actually I'm pretty happy with that. Like that, it's meant to be 10 and that's it. So, not giving up there. We're going to do the opposite now. So now we're going to come around and we're going to do number 1. We're going to do the feeler gauge. I'm going to see where the dial indicator lands up to it. So let me move this out of the way. This is the part I hate, is that trying to get it to both hold it still and move at the same time. Like it's I swear to God, it's a 2-person job. So we're gonna go with our 10. Gonna go with a 10. So we're gonna place it in behind. I'm going to start lowering it down until there's no. Okay, So I think that's it. But again, I'm going to go to an 11 now just to check to see how much pressure is on it. Okay, so that's what I think it is. Now this is the part I hate, like I said, because now I have to put it down or else leave them in there. Okay. So let's see where we're at with the gauges. So again, let's start up. So we're going to start with a 13 and work our way down. So 13, no go. 12, no go. 11, that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty close. 10, yeah, that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is, now I've done it with that, I just want to make sure it's fully tight. That's tight enough. And we're going to put a dial indicator on it and see where it adds up. Now, let's say it works out pretty much bang on 10. What does that tell you? Oh, it's better using the gauges than it is the dials? No, it goes to show that you can actually do it the same way with both, which means theoretically you could not worry about the gauges and just do it with the dial indicator all the way down and just double check them. Again, it's a preference. It's a preference. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'd rather use the gauge than I would do the feeler gauges. Alright, so let's go test this. Some interesting boardies out there. That sounds like a car alarm. Alright. So let's do the drop test on where we are. And I would say we are at number... Hang on a second, let me fix the camera a little better. Alright. Do the drop test and we're at number... pretty much 71, just a slight bit over 71. So we're looking at to be on 81. Simple as that. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I moved the dial on the camera or moved the... Okay, we're still in the same spot. What do you think there? 71, 82, give or take that toe. And just so you can see what I'm actually doing, I'm not putting pressure on it at all. I can't do it from here because I'm just lifting this one. I have to lift this side. So if you ask me, either or works. You ask me, the dial indicator shows that it's pretty much 10 as well. So it can be done. So I don't know if this will convince you. People are probably set on using their feel light gauges. That's absolutely fine. As you can see, I've done it, and using both, it worked out. That's handy. But at the same time as that, I find it a little easier to be able to set it using the gauge to see where you're at compared to, oh, well, I'm way off. It's another tool to use. So, yeah, can it be done using this? Looks like it. As long as you have a good surface, and again, you have a consistency, which, like I said, that's why I drop it up and down a lot to make sure it's sitting in the exact same spot, then it can be done. So, I said, you may have the best feeler gauges, which is great. It says, I'm not a fan of using them because I'm always, well, I don't know. At least I can see with this where it is. This is telling me it's pretty much, yeah, 10, possibly 11. But, yeah, that's it. So, I hope this video was helpful. Again, I'm not trying to change the way you do anything. That's not about it at all. I'm saying, hey, look, here's another way we can do it. So, again, it's about using all the tools you can to get the best result you can. If it means spending a bit more time, then yeah, but let's face it, if you're fully rebuilding an engine, you're not exactly wanting to rush through it either. So, yeah, again, any comments, questions, concerns, give me a shout, let me know, give me some feedback, good, bad, or in between. Like I says, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you, that's fine. All I know is that now I know that the gauge can work the same. I'd be pretty happy to use the dial indicator to run my way through and actually be able to physically see the number instead of, yeah, well, guess with the feeler gauge. And like I said, you can always use them as a backup as well, just to confirm. Again, it's a bit of peace of mind. So, yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.